Okay, I guess yeah, so how you doing? How you doing 2020? Happy New Year, guys. And it's been a while. I had to sort of lock away and be with family and do my thing. And now I am back. I'm refreshed. I'm excited. Hey Fiona, I'm really excited. I'm super fired up. 2020 things are already happening. There's lots and lots of great things happening. Rita, how you doing? So I wanted to jump in and talk to you again, my Lose Your Mind tribe, and let's have some fun. Let's talk about the plans for this incredible year. It's already starting to jump. Things are happening. I'm really fired up. I'm so excited. I could squash a grape right now. I'm so fired up, I'm telling you. So I just come out of the gym and I have so much energy. I'm buzzing, and I just want to share with you a couple of things. Thanks Prosper, appreciate that. Cindy, how you doing? So listen. Yesterday I met a friend of mine, and I'm not going to talk about names because I'm not allowed to talk about names. A really good friend of mine, an old acquaintance that I hadn't seen for many years, and he and I had a really great time talking and catching up. And one of the things that I noticed in the conversation was that we were reminiscing about the past. I've known this guy for a very long time, over 15 years. We've known each other and we've done business together. Wonderful, great guy, and his qualities are exceptional. He's such an amazing person, very honorable person. But one of the things that came up as we spoke, I realized we were talking about the people we knew from the past. And here's the thing, the conversation was dominated by people who did great things. We were talking about, people who we refer to as, that guy's a genius. That guy was amazing. Oh man, I remember that guy, and it's funny how we didn't talk about failures. I don't remember talking about somebody who wasn't doing really well. We were just talking about the people that were actually doing amazing things. And this is the irony. The irony is that in order to be as successful as you want to be, and you want to have a phenomenal year, because this is timely, this is the beginning of the year, it's the beginning of the next 10 years, which we call a decade, so people say, I want to be successful. Now, one good day will not make you successful. One good day doesn't make a good month. One good month won't make a good year. One good year is not going to make a good decade. You need to have 10 years of solid success. It's a friend of mine who often talks about that. One of my mentors, a coach, the guy I look up to, and he always says to me, always remember, consistency is not just for a day, it's not for a week, it's not for a month, it's not for a year, it's 10 years plus. So these guys that we're talking about, we were speaking about one guy in particular, and he lives in Miami, and we're saying, man, this guy's a genius. Like, he never backs down. He never, ever backs down. He's always ready to take the challenge. So here's some tips for 2020. And as you reflect on what you want to do, we've done a week. It's 1 week into 2020. The week is done. It's gone. So the question is, what did you do the last week? Now, part of the things that I like to do at the beginning of the year, I normally take time off and I go somewhere and I head to Dubai most of the time. And I'll sit in a room for like 3 days in my hotel room, and I just brainstorm with me. Just brainstorm alone. You can do it anywhere. It doesn't have to be a hotel room in Dubai. It doesn't have to be wherever you want to go to be alone. Just brainstorm with yourself. The thing that you have to really master is this. It's very difficult to say no to your own great ideas. Very often, you always say, yes, I like that. I want to do that. Oh my gosh, that's a really good idea. The naysayers are externals. They're people who don't really know you. They're people who don't even know your ideas. They're people who probably don't even know why you came up with such an idea. So tip number one for 2020 is back up your ideas. Back up your ideas. You know, I was talking to somebody earlier and I was saying, this is what I want to do. And this person said, well, I don't know if that's going to work. And, you know, it's very difficult. It's tricky. Do you think people will like that? And I politely say to the person, I'm not actually asking you to tell me whether we should do it. We're going to do it. Yeah. And that wasn't to be disrespectful. That was to be honest, because I made a decision. I'm going to do this. When you decide to do something and you sit down in your place and you have a one-to-one with yourself, and you go after your goals, you say, I'm going to do this regardless. Just back it up. Just give it some action. Like, give it enormous action. I'm going, you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway. Now, some of the greatest ideas that we've had or we've experienced or people we marvel about and we talk about and we go, oh my gosh, she was remarkable. When they were starting those ideas, when Jay-Z was starting his record label, when, you know, I can mention lots of different people that are very successful, majority of the world said, you are nuts. You know, you can't even start to imagine who's going to buy into that. But guess what? The rest is history. So back up your ideas. That's number one. Number two, and I didn't understand this, right? And I got this today. People who are fearful piss me off, man. Like, please forgive me. Like, people who are fearful piss me off. I'm telling you, like, I've never, ever, ever done any project that's been successful and I didn't go in with a little bit of jitters and a little bit of, you know, butterflies in my stomach. I was a bit apprehensive. I was like, man, is this going to work? But I don't care. You know what? The biggest risk there is not taking one. Take a risk. Take a risk. Be afraid and do it afraid. I don't mind, you know, I don't mind things not working out, because success, on the road to success, there's bumps, there's roadblocks, there's lots of different hoops and stuff. There's going to be lots of things in the way that are going to block you from being successful. But here's the beautiful thing. The beautiful thing is, hey, Janet, how you doing? Long time. The beautiful thing is that if you keep going, you figure it out. I read something the other day and they said, if you don't want to start over, don't quit. If you don't want to keep starting over, stop quitting your projects halfway or before they even hatch. You kind of go, do you think this is going to work or whatever? Sometimes the people you're asking for advice don't know themselves. They actually have no idea what you're talking about. They just go, well, I don't know if that's going to work. And you go, okay, well, it's not going to work then, you know, because a lot of the times when you come up with these ideas, you're actually not sure that you want to do them. So I'm going to challenge you to try something different. Come up with an idea and back it up. Back up your idea. Back up your idea. Meaning, you know, give it 100%. Give it 100%. Do it afraid, but do it anyway. Fear, man, I'm telling you, fear is great. Fear gives you so much energy. I'm telling you, like, you know, you really think that you're going to go in the ring and fight Mike Tyson and you're not afraid? You're going to face this guy who is a man mountain. I don't care how much training you've done. It doesn't really matter. If you're going to go in the ring and become a champion, there has to be an element of fear. Fear is a good friend. So embrace fear. Embrace fear and really go after your dreams. Now, the last thing, so I've said the first thing was back up your plans. Make sure you know, listen, don't listen to the naysayers, you know, because the biggest risk is not taking one. If you don't take a risk, it's risky. If you take a risk, it's risky anyway, but just roll with it. You know, just keep going, just keep going. Eventually, you're going to figure it out. Yeah. Fear is an amazing friend. Fear is something that I embrace. I love it. I love feeling that the terror. I go, man, this is terrifying. So therefore, it's going to be good. You can't do something that's big and bold and not be afraid. It's impossible. I reckon Donald Trump, before he became president, he was like, man, what am I doing? Did I really, you know, like want to sit in this chair? I'm telling you, it doesn't really matter who you are. There's going to be an element of fear. And the last thing I want to really leave you with, a tip for 2020. I'm obsessed with positive attitude, man. I have this vibe. I can't shake it. I can't shake it. I'm loving me. I'm loving my energy levels. I'm loving my thought process. I'm excited about, the grandeur in my head. My head is going nuts, like I'm thinking of incredibly big things, and I'm telling you, everything I've achieved was once so big. It was massive. I couldn't fathom how I'm going to actually achieve something like that. But guess what? I'm here now, and I've got all these things that I've achieved, not to show off or to brag, but I'm saying, this is a beauty. The beauty is I don't really care. I don't care how hard it's going to be. I know there's a crack in the door somewhere. And if I keep going, there's a guy who ran out of jail using a razor blade. They talk about it. There's so many stories out there. You can read up on this stuff, But here's the beautiful thing, man. Hey, Kennedy, here's the beautiful thing. The beautiful thing is just believe in you. Believe in you. Even if you don't believe in yourself, just go, what if? What if that 1% could actually just take me a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Just fall in love with being positive. When people say, do you think it can happen? You go, I don't know, maybe. Maybe is a really powerful word. And as soon as you say maybe, your world starts to open up these possibilities of what if, we did this or something happened here, we tried to do this. I'm telling you, lots of things will start to come into fruition. But you have got to explore the possibilities of things being possible. The possibility of things being possible. You understand? If you don't do that, you've cut yourself short, right? And I label this conversation stay. You have to stay. You have to stay. You will never ever be successful in your absence. Some of the things that I've done, some of the places I've gone, the people that I've met people that I thought, whoa, like I don't even know why I'm talking to this person, But it's audacity. It's just being audacious and saying to yourself, it doesn't really matter how big they are or how far they seem to be or how impossible. I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday and I said to them, you have all these opportunities. The only thing that's limiting you is your mindset. Your brain tells you it's not possible, so therefore you start to think of all the reasons why it's not possible, and then therefore, you become this little person. And it's amazing how we have so many people that believe in us, a lot more than we believe in ourselves. And they say to you, you can do this. Oh my gosh, you have all these things around you. Very often we don't realize how much we can actually achieve if we focused our minds to what can I actually do if I put myself into this thing 100%. Whatever you're doing, and this is the one thing that, I mentioned to my friend yesterday. We're in London, we're having a meeting, and I said to him, everything works. If you're a bricklayer, that works. If whatever you choose to do, if you do telcos, it works. If you do marketing, it works. If you do, if you're a builder, that works. Whatever you do works. The only thing that fails is we fail. Hey, Richard. Hey, Romano. These guys are here to embarrass me. These are my friends. But listen. Everything you do works. The only thing that fails us is we start to plant a seed in our head that says, what if I fail today? Now, the quickest way to dismiss that is to say, maybe. Maybe I'll be successful. Keep saying maybe. Keep saying maybe. What if they don't buy it? Maybe they will buy. What if she doesn't want it? Maybe she'll want it. What if she says no? Maybe she'll say yes. I'm obsessed with the possibilities. And there's a cliche that's really corny, but I actually love it. When somebody mentioned it to me, I said, I don't like a lot of cliches, but this one I like. It says, impossible means I am possible. Impossible means I am possible. So on that note, guys, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. But let me just recap. One is back up your ideas. Everything works. The only thing that fails us is you fail, not the project, not the process. You fail. Everything works. That's number one. Number two is don't worry about fear. Fear is part of the process. Everybody that's been successful was fearful. You know, I saw somebody, a friend of mine, I'm not going to mention names, who was posting a picture congratulating their son about, you know, being a Marine. And I said, man, I can't imagine the terror that young boy has gone through. Now, I can't imagine the terror as a father you go through watching your boy going through all kinds of different training, not even watching them. You don't know whether they're going to come back. So everything that's been great, that's ever been achieved, was always going to be scary. And through that fear, you're going to forge a way forward. If you don't feel the fear, it's just a familiar ground. And if it's a familiar ground, you're probably not going to get much out of it. So feel the fear and do it anyway. And the last thing I mentioned was just be obsessed with positivity. Just be positive, man. What can happen? What's going to happen? You fail, so what? You get up, you dust yourself, you go back again, and you keep going. And stay the course, because I'm telling you, products don't make people successful. People make people successful. Your attitude is what's going to make you a fortune. All right? On that note, lose your mind. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it in 2020. 2020, be obsessed with being excellent. Have a great day. God bless you. Thank you for listening. And I'll be back soon talking about other things. Lots of people asking me questions. So I really appreciate, and I'm really humbled that you're listening to this. Have a great day.